Good evening. This is News at 8 live from Wisdom Yard Television. I am Odunayo Adelere. Here are the news headlines. Investigate Kaduna killings, reps charge IGP DSS. NYSC DG urges corps members to promote unity in host communities. Now the news in details. The House of Representatives has called on Inspector General of Police Kyle Degbetokwa, Department of State Services and head of other security agencies to probe the recent killings of innocent Nigerians in Ambe in the Sanga local government area of Kaduna State. 6 persons were reportedly killed in Ambe settlement in the Arik Chief Kingdom on Sunday when government invaded the community, shooting sporadically at innocent citizens. At the resumption of plenary on Tuesday, the member representing Jema Sanga Federal Constituency, Kaduna State, Amos Daniel, very emotional on matters of urgent public importance, noted that at about 7 p.m. on Sunday, May 5, 2024, in Ambe, in the outskirts of Gwantu Sanga local government area of Kaduna State, following the attack from 2 gunmen who arrived on 2 motorcycles at the birthday celebration venue of their aged father, killed 6 people and injured many. The lawmaker also noted that youth in the area summoned the courage to apprehend one of the gunmen with his motorcycle and later handed him over to soldiers on guard, adding that some of the victims of the attack are currently receiving treatment at the University of Jos Teaching Hospital. The People's Democratic Party lawmaker further maintained that since the unfortunate incident, residents of the area have been left traumatized and unable to carry out their daily businesses in fear of the unknown. Following the adoption of the motion, the House observed the minute silence in honor of the dead and called on the IGP to deploy more police personnel to the secure area. It also urged the IGP, the military and DSS to go the whole distance to ensure that the culprits are arrested and brought to book, while also calling on the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation and National Emergency Management Agency NEMA to provide food and non-food items to affected victims. The House further mandated its committees on police, army and emergency and disasters preparedness to ensure compliance. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC Brigadier General YD Ahmed had urged corps members to serve as exemplary ambassadors, promoting unity wherever they are posted. Ahmed made this call during the closing ceremony of the orientation exercise for the 2024 batch A Stream 2 corps members at the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Wamako local government area of Sokoto State. Represented by the NYSC coordinator for Sokoto State, Alhaji Usman Yakubu Yaro, the Director General emphasized the importance of upholding a positive reputation and avoiding involvement in criminal activities. I admonish you to uphold the values of patriotism, diligence, and perseverance, which are essential qualities for nation building, he stated, emphasizing the need for corps members to represent not only their families but also the NYSC positively. General Ahmed further warned the corps members against night journeying, saying that wherever it is 6 o'clock p.m. they should cut off their journey wherever they are and look for a designated area, safe place to spend the night. He also urged them to continue with the post-camp training of the Skill Acquisition Entrepreneurship Development Site program and avail themselves at all times at their places of primary assignment. The DG advised them to respect the culture and traditions of the people of their host communities. The highlight of the event was the distribution of the posting letters to successful corps members. Before the news comes to an end, here are the headlines once again. Investigate Kaduna killings, reps charge IGP DSS. NYSC DG urges corps members to promote unity in host communities. Thank you for staying tuned. I am Odunayo Adelere. Have a good night rest. Live TV to another edition of News Review. I am Odunayo Adelere. And with me in the studio this morning I have...
I'm Rochimi Orilua, son of the prophetess, the man we resemble with care.
It's another week, it's another dimension, new week, new dimension. You're welcome once again, all our viewers out there. Thank you for always staying through. Thank you for always staying tuned to Wisdom Yard Online TV. I want to say a very big thanks to our sponsors, Nokpa Abals and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. Thank you for always staying through. Nokpa Abals deals with Nokpa Aba, Mixture Aba, Kulaba, Tonic Aba, Bitters, Aba, Flush Aba, Energy Powder. And King Victor Nigeria Enterprises deals with any kind of foodstuffs you need at home. And for King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, distance is not a barrier. And for Nokpa Abals, you can call 0701010859 or send a DM. Yours is to order, ours is to deliver. You know how we did on the show, bring to you news that made it to the top. We'll go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we continue for where we stop and we'll discuss on the one we feel we should discuss about. But we will not be the only one discussing it. You can also drop your own comment or your own opinion in the comment section while we go through it together. On Punch newspaper, we have 80% of Lekki buildings have no approval, says LASG, that is Lagos State Government. DSTV price hikes, more Nigerians consider SLTV others. Nnamdi Kanu's wife visits IPOB leader in DSS custody. Ikeja Disco slashes band A tariff to 206.80 kilowatts per kilowatt. On Vanguard newspaper, we have local firm IOCS to bid for 12 onshore, 7 deep offshore oil blocks. Marketers remain upbeat as petrol scarcity enters third week. Kidnappers slip off after abducting pastor's wife, others in Ondo State. Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship, Deputy Speaker Kalu. On Daily Post newspaper, we have concerns as gas tanker explosion claimed 13 lives, many properties in 1 week. Terrorist explosion devices kill 7 civilians in Borno. Fire engulfs ex-governor Shekarau's Kano residence. These are the news that made it to the top. Let's go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we continue from where we stop. Don't go nowhere, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
To the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. Your family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Abba Mixture, the family's best bet.
With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back from that short commercial break. That is our sponsor, Nokpa Abals. Like I said earlier, the deals with Nokpa Abba Mixture, Abba Co, Abba Tonic, Abba Bitters, Abba Flusher, Abba Energy Powder. Whichever you need, you can call 0701010859 or send in a DM. Distance is not a barrier for us at all. Without wasting much of our time, the first headline here says 80% of Lekki buildings have no approval, says LASG, Lagos State Government.
The federal government is let me say the state government. Lagos State government is coming out to discover that 80% of Lekki building doesn't have approval.
After how
many years that they have built their house over there? Do you think that was right? Or that's good to say. After how many years? Maybe if you could go deep into the body of this news, apart from what is written there, when we go deep into the body of this news, you could, at the end of the day, you'll be able to see that there's a place there that the federal government and the Lagos State government have put their eye on, that they wanted to reclaim in that place. I saw a video that went viral 3 days ago or 2 days ago,
okay,
where an estate in Maryland there, where the estate the residents were given 2 weeks to vacate that building.
Where should they go to?
No proper information, nothing, no quick notice was served. No notice was served to the residents.
How would you even serve somebody that builds the house a quick notice?
They should leave that place for within the couple of 2 hours. At the end of the day, They started evacuating this set of people by bringing the excavator or bringing a bulldozer to come and bulldoze their house.
I don't even know what is actually going on in Lagos
right.
within this last week and the 2 weeks before. They've been uncovering some different kind of things. Like was it last week or 2 weeks ago, whereby they sent some set of people. We actually those that are actually living under the bridge, where they're actually staying is actually a dangerous place for them to stay. I am not even in support of saying somebody should sleep under the bridge, but come to people living in their residence, in their house, that they built with their added money,
not 2 years, not
that they bought with their added money,
not 10 years. They're spoiling of it. It's too barbaric. You better watch your action, because when you look at it very well, maybe the governor or somebody who consider themselves to be untouchable in a high caliber place has put an eye, have shown an interest in that place that makes the government of Lagos State want to
Let's go into the body of the news first. Lagos State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Oluyinka Olumide, stated that 80% of buildings in Ibeju-Lekki have no approval. He disclosed this in a recent interview with newsmen. He said, just last week, Thursday and Friday, myself and the team were in the Ibeju-Lekki and Ekpe axis, and you would agree with me that anybody passing through that corridor would see a lot of estates marked. We went there, and I can tell you that from what we saw, over 80% of them do not have approval. The procedure to get approval is first to get the planning information as to what those areas have been zoned for. In this case, what we have is agricultural land, and people now go to their families to buy agricultural land. Of course, those lands will be sold because those families do not know the use such land would be put to. The next thing is to do the fence permit. If you miss the earlier information on not knowing the area zoning, at the point of getting the fence permit, you would be able to detect what the area is zoned for. After that, the layout permit, a large expense of land follows. Olumide noted that a layout permit cannot be obtained if it is not zoned for this purpose it was designed for, or for the purpose it was being requested for. One thing I want to say is that I'm sorry, sir. This 80% of people that they actually built the house, none of them actually came to the government.
Don't they have planning office around those areas where they were building? What are those people that are representing Lagos State in?
They did the foundation.
What are they looking? To the extent in which they start the foundation at the end.
They raised the building. Punitive taxes. He noted that the communities that were not planned were the historic settlements that the government exercised in the scheme to do Lekki better. Those estates which have been approved on the west and east, Atara Road, which go down to Awoyaya on the east side and to Akodo on the west side of Lekki Ekpe Expressway, must be demolished to make way for the planned road.
Because he said there is no need of victimizing this set of people that voted in power. And when you look at what happened during the 4 years of Ambode, we could not record any act of terrorism in Lagos State. Despite the fact that nobody was being brutalized, nobody was being victimized. All because of there are some cabals that they feel they sponsor people into be in power. They are expecting a return from that so-called person. But you see, I just want us to know that no matter how small it is, we should be able to have human feelings.
I don't think these people are ready to have human feelings. The only time they feel human being go through pain and all that is when they want to cajole you to vote for them. That is when you start seeing them sitting down with corn seller. Someone that is actually roasting corn, selling corn for them. You off for them. Immediately they get what they want. They just forget that these people are actually the people that brought them into power, which is not supposed to be.
When Sanwo-Olu was campaigning for the second time, don't you see him at Witness Chapel standing by the door?
I can't remember the offering.
No, standing by the door entrance of the church and welcoming people into the service. Since then, when Sanwo-Olu has been,
when has he entered Winners Chapel?
When last did he went to Winners Chapel to go and welcome people into the service?
Well. This was a kidnappers sleep off after abducting pastor's wife, others in Ondo State. Like ever since I've been hearing about kidnapping case in Nigeria and outside, I think this is the most funniest one I've ever heard.
There's a that says every day is for the chief.
One day is for the owner.
1 day is for the owner. For the kidnapper to have slept or automatically have touched somebody who is not ought to be touched, because according to the scripture, it says, "Touch not my anointed."
I love the fact that you always bring out your quotes from the scripture. Because
some people might be asking me, what about the rest of the pastors that have been kidnapped? At the end of the day, they paid ransom. You know, I want you to know and I want you to believe. You might attack me with those words or with those comments. One thing I want you to know is that anointing is different from each other.
No, grace is actually different from each other. Yeah, grace. The grace I have might not be the grace you have.
Exactly.
What I did and I scaled through, you might actually do it and not scale through.
Exactly.
The body of the news says, police detectives have arrested 5 suspected kidnappers who slept off after abducting a pastor's wife and 2 other persons. The suspects reportedly slept off after taking hard drugs. Vanguard gathered that the 3 victims escaped after the abductors slept off. You know, when I heard this news this morning, the first thing I said was, is this their first time of taking the drug? Obviously, no. But according to the say that you said earlier, I said every day is for the thief, 1 day is for its owner. They've been doing it for a while. They've been like, let's go for the last one. We'll scale through.
Exactly.
Let's go for the last one. We'll scale through. And there's a saying in my head that says it is the last one that you actually go for, and you'll not be able to come back.
I want to employ the commissioner of police in Ondo State to make sure this set of people were being brought into justice.
They are being punished, and they should allow us see them when they are being punished.
If I could decide on my own, when they were being informed for them to go inside the bush, if I happened to be the commissioner of the police, because I would have silenced them
immediately.
Yes, coming out to tell the whole public that they engage in gun battle with me, because if care is not taken, this set of people,
they will still come out.
They will still come out.
And they'll
walk freely around the street
and
begin to kidnap again. Nigeria is the country that I've seen so heartless to the extent in which a bandit that came out to say he has repented, you will launch them back into the Nigerian military force.
One thing I said when I heard the news was, if God forbid I was in that show, but if unfortunately I was there, at least you have every leverage. As someone was telling me, can you undo God? At least I will make them.
If I happen to be one of the kidnappers, God forbid.
No, if I happen to be one of the kidnappers.
The kidnappers, okay. God forbid though, if it happens or if I can undo God. That's where
at least I will do something. But
anybody that was being kidnapped, they won't
be in their right senses.
Be on its mind was
to leave that place,
to escape from that place. So they wouldn't think of.
I wouldn't even support them that they should, because at the end of the day, if the police still handle the case, the person that actually injured the kidnappers may actually be brought to book. They will not say you're actually trying to rescue yourself.
Exactly the point. That's the situation.
The suspects include Gabriel Momini, 27 years old, Yusuf Tal, 21 years old, Kabir Mohammed, 16 years old, Shuaibu Umar, and Adamu Mohammed, 22 years old age. Police also said the suspects were arrested by men of the Ofusu division after the victims identified one of them. According to the police, a case of kidnapping was reported at Ofusu division that a police wife and a member were kidnapped in the church, while the third victim was kidnapped while picking snails on the farm. The victims, however, escaped from their assailants at different dates after they had taken hard drugs and slept off. Through intelligence, on May 1st, 2024, 5 among the 6 kidnappers were arrested by men of the division and have been identified by the victims as part of the gang that abducted them. The state police commissioner, Abayo Oladipo, said the suspects will soon be charged to court. Oladipo added that one Adetokuba Adesina, who claimed to have been hired to kill over 500 persons, was also arrested after his last victim paid him 110,000 naira. You were hired to kill 500 people. Your family member is not part of those that you were actually hired to kill.
500 people. The guy really tried.
He tried.
I believe the justice must have his cause from the police division.
I just hope they will bring out the true justice that we actually demand for in Nigeria.
At the end of the day, we won't see this set of people roaming about the street freely. what normally happens? They will say order from above. They should be relieved.
All right.
Order from above.
Before we go on to the last one here, I actually said earlier that it is one company that is actually sponsoring this program. So let's go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we continue from where we stop. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In the heart of Nigeria's bustling markets, where the sights, sounds, and smells overwhelm the senses. But in the midst of chaos, there shines a beacon of hope. King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, where convenience meets tranquility and shopping becomes a pleasure. Join countless others who have discovered the joy of shopping at King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. At King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, we understand the importance of providing our customers with the highest quality products at affordable prices.
Here at King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, customer satisfaction is our top priority. We're always here to help you find exactly what you need.
Whether you're stocking up for the week ahead or grabbing a last-minute item for tonight's dinner, King Victor Nigeria Enterprises has everything you need to keep your home running smoothly.
Yeah, welcome back from that short commercial break. Like I said, our sponsors, you can just call the number or send in your DM. Distance, it's not a barrier for both King Victor Nigeria Enterprises and Nokpa Herbals. Last but not the least that I have here, this one says, Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. Yes. Deputy Speaker Kalu said.
I mean, come out to say those flatteries were word based that he is in support of the so-called president, or he's part of those people that are eating from the national cake. Understand? If Tinubu is not the problem, let Tinubu fix the country. According to what he said during his campaign, he's ready to fix the country. And if you are going to fix the country, you won't open up your eyes and see people dying, all because you want to fix the country. Recently, electricity tariff was increased by 333%.
They reduced it already now.
Then petrol price was increased by about 250-something%. Why the salary was increased by 25%.
25%.
What does it solve the issue that is on ground? Despite the economy, despite the hardship in the surface of the country, I believe for you to have called your children, that will be your children and your wife, that you want to build a house for them, for their future. This house that you are going to start building for the period of those times that the house is going to be before the house is going to be completed, that the children and the wife we are not going to eat at home. What happened? If eventually the house was built at the end of the day, what happened to the children? The children might have died, of starvation before you finish the house.
Yeah, like what this man said, if the truth would be said, let the truth be told. We know Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is not actually the cause and is not responsible for Nigeria's hardship, but is one of those that contributed to it.
Because he has been a former governor in Lagos.
One.
He has been there before.
Well, once you called yourself a godfather to a particular party, yes. And you were the one that brought in Muhammadu Buhari. So one way or the other, you are actually responsible to it.
8 years of Buhari with no success was recorded in the service of the country. Instead of success, what happened? We have killing here and there, Fulani axemen attacking people. People were unable to access to their farm. At the end of the day, you came out to begin to apologize for the wrong deeds. Does that really bring the life of those people that have been not at all?
The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not responsible for Nigerians' current hardship. This is as the lawmaker on Sunday featured orphans, widows, people living with disabilities, and the aged at his Bende, Abia State country home to mark his 53rd birthday. Fielding questions from newsmen during the massively attended event, the Deputy Speaker explained that Nigeria's current economic odds were occasioned by the errors of the previous administration in the country, which, according to him, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working hard to fix. The hardship we are passing through was not caused by this man. It is a piled-up case of previous administrations and how they mismanaged one or two things. Kalu urged Nigerians to be patient with President Tinubu as he makes efforts to address the challenges he inherited, claiming that his policies are beginning to yield results. Patience is actually a virtue. But it will come to a time that you will actually exhaust your patience.
Exactly the point.
Come May 29 this month, You'll be 1 year on seat as the president of Nigeria.
What's the achievement so far?
You have 3 years to go.
The money that they have been recovered from the petrol subsidy,
we've not seen any positive impact.
Within 2 months, they came out. They said they could be able to at least have 1 trillion naira. At the end of the day, what's the money used for?
Yeah, we get all these things that we are actually saying. You are trying your best. We know. There is a thing that says chicken is actually sweating, but you cannot know because of the feather on its body. It is not actually easy to be #1 person, citizen of a country. They bring all the problem of all the states under it to bring it to you. But what are you doing to actually ease the problem we're actually facing in Nigeria? Presently now, Ipman came out last week that the food scarcity that we have will not exceed 2 weeks. I think this is the 3rd week. This is
the 3rd week, and
we are still on it.
Going to exceed more than 3 weeks. That's what they said. That was last week.
Why are we just choosing to punish ourselves in ways that we are not supposed to do?
Because that's the system that has been injected. That is what has been injected into the system by the so-called ruiners of this country.
Not even the developer.
The look of things, it was like there is an agenda that you need to follow when you get there. If you are not ready to follow that agenda,
then you leave.
Voted in.
All right, we've come to the end of News Review today, but my own plea to the federal government is they should please, we have just 3 years to go out of your administration. 1 year is gone already. Let's just forget this as today's May 6th. In 23 days, it will make 1 year on state. I'll just make my appeal to the federal government that please, Nigerians are actually suffering out there. You have a lot of work to do. All this, even the rich are also crying in this administration, only if we want to lie to ourselves.
The promise Port Harcourt refinery is going to start operating by December.
Okay.
Now, we're almost at the
we're not in December.
Port Harcourt refinery has no record of success.
This is me.
Not this year, last year. That was last year.
If it worked December 2024, it's still December. So that's what they are trying to tell you. Alright, that's the end of the show today. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on our Facebook, on our YouTube, on our Instagram, on our X account, on our TikTok at Wisdom Yard Online TV. I remain my humble self, Oduwayo Adelere. Thank you for joining me in the studio, sir.
Thanks for having me.
So we'll come again on your screen. We say be happy and be good. Bye.